Bowhunt or Die is being brought to you by Matthews, Lost Camo, Lone Wolf Portable Tree Stands, Hunter Safety System, Heartland Wildlife Institute, New Archery Products, Tinks, Carbon Express, Stealth Cam, Moose Utility Division, Lacrosse Footwear, Scent Blocker, Pine Ridge Archery, and Can Cooker.
Welcome to another episode of Bowhunt or Die. As you can tell by my face paint, the game is on. Justin and I took a couple of days off of work. We figured with this cold front coming in, we wanted to get in the woods.
Yeah, well, we were hoping the bucks were going to be up on their feet this morning. I think we had high 20s, but unfortunately pretty slow this morning. But I know the last couple evenings, finally, seems like things are starting to turn on a little bit. I know, Todd, you've been out hunting the last couple nights. What have you seen, 5 or 6 different bucks now?
I have. You know, actually, one hunt I went on, I saw 6 1.5-year-olds out walking around.
6 1.5-year-olds in one hunt?
Yes, 6 in one hunt. I also did see a nice shooter buck last night, actually, but unfortunately, yes, I totally got busted. There was nothing I could do. But no, they're definitely up on their feet, and beyond just being up on their feet, I mean, I know, Justin, we were driving out here, we were seeing the blood splatter on the highways.
Well, yeah, we saw a nice buck driving in this morning. When I was driving home last night at, 8:30, 9 o'clock, yep. I saw a good buck out, so they're definitely starting to move.
For sure.
Prime time is coming, Todd. The next couple of weeks, this should be good. We should hopefully start killing some bucks. So, Speaking of killing stuff, this week's show, we do have, 3 or 4, pretty exciting hunts for you.
Yeah.
One thing we always talk about is quality deer management.
Definitely.
Being able to shoot does, and when the bucks aren't moving, nothing better to do than whacking a couple nanny does out there.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in the tree stand with Tim.
Sitting on a food plot here we call San Diego North, and we got west winds, which is coming from this way, and we're hoping that deer are going to come out of the valley to the right and feed out here in the turnips. It sounds like we have a tractor down here tearing up the corn, so I'm hoping there's some deer in there with these west winds, the tractor down there, and hoping they're going to scare up here and kind of just filter up on this ridge and start feeding on our turnips. I hear some noise behind me. I've heard it all afternoon. I knew someone was back there. Doe and a fawn ended up jumping the fence and working their way right here. Thought I was going to get a shot at 15 yards, and I didn't. I had to let that down, move the camera, hurry up, get ready, and luckily enough I got a shot off. Unfortunately, it was an awful shot. I don't know what the hell happened. It was a really extreme shot. So I just got done looking at the footage. I got good footage of everything. I was able to see where the arrow entered and as she was running away, where it exited. So it's good that we have both exit and entrance wound. As she was running away, I saw very good blood coming out her bottom side. And as she was running right here in front of me, I saw blood gush out right away. I have a feeling I got lucky and hit that artery. But it was an awful shot. I mean, absolute awful shot. So, all we can do is sit back and wait right now. Just have to see. Makes you sick. don't smell guts. That's a good thing. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. That was not my marksmanship. All right, guys, it's October 13th, Sunday morning, and Troy and I are out here at the property once again. I slept in this morning and Troy decided to hunt, but we looked over the footage last night and realized that during our hero shot interviews, the cameraman forgot to turn the microphone on, so we decided to come out here and set her up one last time before we take her to the processor and just give you a recap on, the hunt in itself. To start off, there's no doubt I made an awful shot. Not sure what happened. Felt good on release. Not sure if it got caught in that blaze orange vest or what happened. It was an extreme downward shot, but the good news is we found her. To be honest, the blood trail was great. We found her within 150 yards and the blood was coming out both sides. I have a feeling I hit her in that artery that runs along the spine and caught her liver. But it just goes to show you how a good broadhead can really, help you out in those tough situations where you didn't make the best shot. The blood, like I said, was coming out both sides, easy to follow the whole way. We found her within 150 yards. So really pleased with that kill zone and how it helped me out when I didn't come through. It's just great to have the doe down. Gonna get 50 points for Team 20 Buck Dynasty on the forums and some meat in the freezer, and now we can concentrate on going after that buck. Bow hunt or die.
Todd, Tim's hunt is a classic example of what I like to consider somebody making a bad shot versus somebody taking a bad shot. And I kind of define that as taking a bad shot being taking a shot you probably shouldn't be taking, right, too far, poor angle, whatever the case may be. In Tim's case, the doe was point blank right in front of her and he just botched the shot, which happens to all of us. You can't really fault him for that, because I know how I am. I've done it before, and those are the types of things that are somewhat unavoidable. Right. Whereas taking a bad shot, in my opinion, is always avoidable.
Well, and I guess what I want to add to this is, there's nothing that drives me more crazy than when people just flat out say, "Hey, you know what? I made a great shot."
Oh, yeah. I smoked them.
Yeah, and you see that they absolutely didn't make a good shot. We've always have told you guys the same thing. Here at Bow Hunt or Die, we tell the truth. We show what we actually catch on footage. That's what happened. And you're right, Justin. I mean, that doe was perfect. It was right there. It was a shot I would have took all day long. Yeah. And unfortunately, things didn't go right. And in the bow hunting world, if you've bow hunted enough, I'm going to tell you right now, things don't always go right.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, from talking to Tim after that, my personal belief is that, I'm telling you, if you guys haven't self-filmed, you have no idea the stress that you put yourself under when you're trying to get that deer in frame, because, I mean, he had her in frame, he drew, she stepped out, he had to let down, move the camera, and I know that we've all done this as self-filmers. We draw and we rush that shot because we want to make sure the deer doesn't step off the camera. And it's more of a mental thing than anything else. I think that's what happened. And, hopefully Tim learned his lesson. They got lucky. The kill zone put a huge hole in her. Thankfully, she didn't go, very far. So all in all, not a horrible hunt. Put some meat in the freezer, and now he can work on shooting some bucks. So What do we got up next?
Next up, we're going to join Jeff and his teammate Craig on another great hunt.
All right, guys, it's October 15th here in Wisconsin. Craig and I are headed to one of my personally favorite places to hunt. It's a lease that we've had for a couple years. We're going to be sitting on a Buckbuster Extreme food plot tonight and some standing corn. And we checked stealth cams the other day and the deer have been pounding the corn. So we just had a big front come through. It's cooled off a little bit, but the rain is done. The wind's going to turn just right. It should be a good night. So we'll be there in about probably another 20 minutes or so. We got a little bit of road time left, and we'll see you in the stand. All right, guys, we got here on the farm. The wind's perfect today. It's blowing right from the woods right to us. We just got to cross the creek. We're gonna actually, since all the rain, we're not gonna drive up there. We'll just walk the whole way. But I'm a little nervous that, I mean, it's only about 2:30 or so right now, but typically these deer get in this food plot right away. So we're gonna have to sneak up around the corn and take a look, and if there's anything out there, we'll have to spot and stalk them. But good day to be in the woods. The rut's gonna get going here in another week or two. Maybe we'll get a little bit of pre-rut activity tonight.
with this little cool front that come through. Hopefully we can get it done. See you in the stand.
Alright guys, it's October 15th and we're finally in the stand. We're sitting over at Buckbuster Extreme Food Plot tonight along with some standing corn and stealth cam show that the deer have been in here every night. Honestly, we're just after a doe tonight. Hopefully to put one down. I've been hunting for a month straight and haven't been able to put it together yet. Wind's kind of swirly, so we're hoping that the Trinity will do its job tonight and kind of save us a little bit. But I feel good. Front's pushing through. Sun's coming out. Should be an awesome night. Stay tuned. Bow hunt or die, baby. Finally got an opportunity. Good mature doe. Smoked her. Kill zone ripped right through her. I saw the blood pouring out. I looked a little far back on the entry, but I know she was corning away. At least got a one lung in the liver for sure. So, bow hunt or die, baby. Yeah, finally. Redemption. You know, it's been a long time coming, to be honest. I've had a lot of bad luck. So, it feels good to finally put it together. Hopefully we get a big one to come in now, but either way, we came and we did what we were supposed to do. Doe down, bow hunt or die.
Alright guys, we just got out of the stand. Some deer started coming back out. We had to let them get out of here, but I'm gonna go see if we can't find my arrow right away here. Good blood all around the arrow here. Nah, dude. She's dead. She ain't going far. That's great blood. Alright guys, we just walked up on her here. She's in the thick stuff here. I want to get a tag on her quick and we'll pull her out so you can get a good look at her. Back straps tonight, baby. Alright guys, we just got a tag on her real quick and pulled her out of the brush so you could see her. Nice big mature doe here on October 15th in Wisconsin. Feels good to put the Matthews to work finally and have it all work out. Hopefully this is a sign of what's to come this year. Craig's got a doe down. I do myself. The weather's getting just right. I'm watching the forecast and it's going to be good. So all the other guys on the team are having some good luck. Things are starting to team up. Couldn't be happier. Stay tuned. In the next couple weeks, it's gonna get really good. Bow hunt or die, baby.
You know, Justin, I'm not sure there's much to talk about this hunt. I mean, it was great. I mean, Craig did a good job filming. Yeah. It was a great shot. I mean, it was perfect.
It was just textbook, you know. Doe walked right in, made a perfect shot, great recovery. I wish every bow hunt, you know, went like that one. So good job, Jeff and Craig up in Wisconsin. Now, hopefully, you know, just like Tim, hopefully they could turn their attention to shooting some bucks here in the upcoming week. So next up, I guess the last hunt that we're going to show you guys for this week's episode is going to be Tom Alford. And I guess, Todd, it's actually two hunts. We got one hunt from Northern Illinois where he was self-filming, and then we got another hunt actually right out in the same property from last weekend, which was a pretty exciting buck encounter. So let's check it out.
Alright guys, well, it is October 17th.
the morning hunt. I'm heading out to the woods. I'm gonna stop here at McDonald's, grab a cup of coffee, and get to it. But woke up this morning, there's a bunch of frost on the top of the truck. Temperatures are pretty cold. It's like 30 some degrees out right now. So it should be a good hunt. Hunting here in northern Illinois, and after a couple good bucks, and if a doe comes by, I'm gonna probably take her because it's been a long time since I've shot a deer. So here we go, coffee and bow hunt or die time. It's cold. That's all I can say right now. Holy cow, is it cold. I did not wear enough clothes today. It is freezing. Now we just need a big old buck, or a coyote, or a nanny doe, or a turkey. Bow hunt or die, baby. I just drilled a big old doe. Whew, man, that felt good. I didn't exactly like that shot, but she was at like 5 steps, and I buried it right below her shoulder blade. I couldn't help it. She was gonna catch on any second, so I drilled her. And I mean, I put that kill zone, I blew it right into her lungs. And she's dead, right over there. I heard her crash. Whew. Oh, that was awesome. All right, well, here's my arrow. It broke off about 30 yards from the stand, but it looks really good. I mean, I'm in the right spot. I've got, you know, over a foot of penetration probably, so I can see blood from here. We'll start picking it up. All right, well, she's right up here. She is twisted through a log. And she's a big old doe. Well, I'm gonna get my tag on her and get her out of here. She's deep in the woods. Alrighty, well, first deer of the year. Shot myself a nice doe this morning, October 18th here in northern Illinois, and I couldn't be happier. This is my first deer of the year, my first deer with the new Mathews Creed, and I'm pumped. Got a bunch of meat for the freezer. A lot of friends and family have been asking me lately, where's the deer? So here it is. We're gonna butcher her up tonight, and I'm excited. Got some good back straps for the for dinner tonight. So bow hunt or die, 2013.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get some coffee. Let's get a breakfast sandwich. Get on the road. Well, good morning from northern
set up on the edge of a big stone cliff. We've got a cedar thicket behind us, and then a little grass runway. A cornfield about 100 yards away, so we're kind of hoping we can catch these deer coming back to bed. We hung the stand in July. We had a lot of beds right where our tree's at. And we know we get a lot of movement behind us on this little strip, so it should be a good morning. It's cold, frost on the ground. Bowhunt or die.
You know, that was a great hunt. I mean, Tommy was self-filming, Justin. It was all by himself. Yep. Doe comes in, makes a great shot. I mean, things were perfect. Yeah. But I know next up, he finally has his first buck encounter. You were there. I know with Tommy, I mean, it takes everything but chains to hold that boy down.
Yeah, it was, I think for a lot of us, you know, that first buck encounter of the year, you know, just, you want so bad for it to be a monster buck. So in your brain, you're telling yourself, you know, it's a big one. And I don't know if you could hear in the footage, but Tommy's saying, it's Joe Dirt, which is like 150 class probably buck that we've got out on this ridge, wherever you're hunting. And I'm looking through the viewfinder going, I don't think that's Joe Dirt, man. And he comes to full draw and that buck steps out. And I had to call him off. You know, we got a 125-inch minimum on this farm. And that deer just didn't quite make it. And I didn't want him to have to, you know, I guess, you know, more importantly, I didn't want him to shoot a young deer, but I didn't want him to have to pay the penalty for shooting an undersized deer. So he called him off, but I guess nonetheless, pretty exciting hunt.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, you know what, we're not saying that that's not a shooter buck. I mean, there's a lot of people that watch our show probably are like, oh my gosh, I would shoot that buck all day long. You know, we don't want to give the impression that that's not a good buck. I mean, that is a good buck, and I got to be honest with you, years ago, I would have shot those all day long.
Oh, I think Tommy was going to shoot that deer. I mean, if there was no antler restriction minimum on this farm, that deer would be dead.
Right, that's
no
a
doubt.
fact.
So, you know, it was a great hunt. Hopefully we'll have some more buck encounters to show you guys pretty shortly. Todd and I are going to get ready to hunt out here in a couple of hours. We've got some food plots actually not too far back behind us we're going to be sitting on tonight. Hopefully we see some bucks come out.
Oh, but, yeah, we're going to be moving.
You know, before we go, we always want to thank the people who took the time to send in their trophies for this week's show.
Ted Summers,
Jared Swaim,
Jesse Becky,
and Dylan Castagnetto. Hey, congratulations, guys. Those are some great trophies. Remember, if you want to see yourself right here in an episode of Bowhunt or Die, all you've got to do is send us your photos. You can do it on Facebook, Twitter, email, or go to bowhunting.com and click on the Submit Your Trophy button. Now, Todd, with all that being said, what do we got? We're looking at the last week of October. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, this is prime time, guys. I mean, this is what we live for. I mean, number one, the bucks are definitely going to start moving around more. Number two, we need more of this corn we need this corn to be picked and gone. I mean,
so if you're a farmer, go pick all the cornfields.
Help us out. Get rid of that corn. It's definitely going to push a lot more deer into the woods, of course. It makes it a lot easier to start patterning these deer for sure. Yeah. But most importantly, it's time just to get out in the woods. That's a fact.
Yeah, definitely. Be in the woods. Scrapes are popping up all over the place. I think rattling and calling is probably going to be working pretty good over the next 10 days or so. So get out there, guys. It's time to go. So until next week, Bowhunt or die.
In the meantime, don't forget to check out facebook.com/bowhunting for daily updates, news, photos, and other exciting information. We want to hear your opinions and your stories, so join us now and like us on Facebook.
That was definitely hard for me to pass that deer. I don't pass deer like that.
God, are we done? Another episode of Bowhunt or Die. I'm Todd Graff. As always, Justin Sard is
Justin Sard is here. He's coming right now.
Next up, we're going to join Tim and his teammate Craig as they jump in a tree together.
Jeff.
I'm sorry.
I said Tim.